History of acupressure. Acupressure has a rather interesting and colourful history, but much of it has been lost due to the course of passing time. There's still much that is known about the history of acupressure, however, and some of it may surprise you. After all, it is thought to date back some 3,000 years, and it's derived from one of the oldest forms of medical practices, acupuncture, that was ever conceived. Acupuncture, which is similar to acupressure except you use needles in order to manipulate the pressure points on the body, has been preserved in a book that has been passed down for many thousands of years. The Neijing is one of the oldest medical writings that are still in existence, and believe it or not, it is still the foundation for much of what modern-day acupuncture and acupressure has to give us. It's thought that during the time whenever weapons of war still consisted of piercing instruments such as arrows, that some of the soldiers would see a reduction in pain or a disappearance of some old ailments whenever they were injured in war. This led to the belief that puncturing or manipulating certain parts of the body could produce desirable effects in other parts of the body. Through much trial and error, most of which we're left in the dark about, the practice of acupuncture and eventually acupressure was born. The history of acupressure would have stopped there had it not been for Jesuit missionaries that travelled into the area of China during the 17th century and brought back these practices with them. They brought back knowledge of a Chinese art in which needles were stuck into the skin in order to improve the health of those individuals. In the early 20th century, much of the Chinese writings were converted into French, and it was introduced to the Western world. The modern history of acupressure is one that is also interesting, and although much of it is based on ancient medicine, there are some new techniques that are being developed on a continual basis. Some people are very skilled in the art of acupressure, and there are schools which teach the practice to those that will practice it on other individuals. It's also possible for you to learn that much of the finer points of acupressure on your own, in order to perform it on yourself or on others. One of the latest developments in the history of acupressure is what the internet has brought to the art. Up until just a few years ago, practicing acupressure on yourself at home was a matter of finding books, either at the bookstore or library, which talks you through text and pictures. Now it's possible for you to watch videos on the internet that show you exactly where these acupressure points are located and how to manipulate them properly. You can experience the power of acupressure firsthand through video at http://downloadacupoints.com.